basically the build was something that the coaches came up with in the fall. The guy who had, from the practice before, had been a standout player and set a good example, and they get the opportunity. It's either with a word or a quote or something meaningful to them.
For today's build, I'm going with a quote that my first coach I had for field lacrosse, first few years I played, he would always say, and it's perfect practice makes perfect. That's something to keep in mind, especially now where we're late in the season, where you can kind of be complacent with we're sitting well in the Ivy League right now, we're coming off a big win. But kind of that mentality that you can get better each day. We don't want to peak yet. We want to peak at the end of the year. We know that perfect practice doesn't mean you're not only not dropping balls. It means maybe you're dropping balls because you're going hard. You're going hard after ground balls. You're pushing the other guys to go hard too. So yeah, that's all of a perfect practice.
It's a fathead kind of image of our season, and every single day has a brick. And so the MVP of practice each day gets to kind of lay that brick on the build wall, and it's kind of like a metaphorical foundation for the year. And every day we lay a brick to try to build up to the ultimate goal of Ivy League championship. Wednesdays are a big day for us, kind of middle of the week, starting to turn the page. And so we start off, half the team does lift, half the team does film, so offense, defense splits.
Don't get too attached with where you've been in the sets and where you've defended in terms of area of the field. You might be moved to a different spot of the field. So let's start with the 1-4-1 look. All right, we're gonna have to come from one of these two as opposed to the midi that follow. Everybody got me on that? Does everybody understand what I'm saying there? Pretty self-explanatory in terms of he's right here. That's going to clog this underneath up. We don't have to come as early or as much in terms of hedge help from the crease. All right, there's a split two. All right, the Butts and Sam, you guys are having this conversation on who's supposed to go out, open inside. All right, but that means you got to get out there. Right, you can't stay sucked in. If our Phil is there, he's done his job. He's filled to. You don't need to fill as well. Get out to that backside wing guy and get on his hands.
We lift twice a week. On Mondays, we usually do leg stuff kind of early in the week so we can still get some leg foundation stuff in. And then once we get to Wednesdays, we do a lot of upper body, bench press, kind of pull-ups, bis, tries, just a lot of upper body stuff so we're not heavy on the legs come Saturday.
Come back in here, get ready real quick, swing by the training room, pick up my sensor, head out to practice, and start getting warmed up.
So after lifting film, get dressed, get ready to go out to practice, put all my gear on. I run down the trainer's room and grab my sensor. It's a little program we have that's working on a concussion study. So go grab that, throw that on, and head out to practice.
The sensor that you're speaking of contains gyroscopes and accelerometers within, and they get affixed behind an athlete's right ear at the start of every practice and game, and they wear it throughout, tracking their impact magnitudes, frequencies, and location of where they're getting hit while they're playing. The study will also be looking at the relationship between these impacts and cognitive function through neuropsychological testing. This 2-year study on men's and women's soccer and lacrosse athletes is funded by Acces and allows us to study sports that have been underrepresented in the impact literature thus far. It's headed by Dr. Margaret Batukian, who's Princeton's Director of Athletic Medicine Services. It's also in conjunction with University of North Carolina. We have 2 collaborators there, Dr. Jason Mahalik and Dr. Kevin Guskowitz, who will be doing this same study with their athletes.
go 4v3 to 5v4 for 10 minutes. We'll do a two-end zone, O-zone, D, invert, big, little. Then we'll go our half field alt, but we'll compete. We'll keep score, so that'll jump for a good half hour, and then we finish with specialties.
And guys kind of battling for playing time and field position, so it's a good day where it's a competitive atmosphere and guys are making each other better.
Practice isn't very long, about hour and a half. Get some stick work in, get some 66 stuff, specialties, sharps, and then we're done for the day.
Meal on Friday is 2 or 2:30 for guys that have the 2:20 class, right? And then Sanch will speak afterwards. Okay, teamwork, our senior speech there. Hey, real simple. Put this in perspective. Harvard gets here tomorrow, right? This thing's here, right? So understand that. We talked about our prowl, our stalk all week. We got one more day to prepare, and then Friday's the day we pounce, right? So we've had a good day. You guys got after a little bit, right? I think we've done a good job. One more day, and we get ourselves ready to go. Okay, we got it. Let's do it.
Let's go. Tags on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Tigers.
It's absolutely kind of a little bit of a nervous excitement. I still get butterflies every day on game day, waking up and knowing that we've got an opponent coming to town. And it's really nice, the team meal, kind of get everybody together, and as the coach likes to say, break bread.
We have a pretty cool tradition of senior speeches. And so every team meal, a senior gets up and kind of recaps his 4 years at Princeton being part of the team, and that's something that's pretty special and gets everybody pretty excited for the game.
And we always like to say that I'm terrible at telling stories. So I know that house money is on this beauty train wreck. When I'm thinking of all the things I could include in my speech, it involves so many people that aren't in this room. As I always have stats, there's 76 teammates and 10 coaches over my time here. So some of the people most influential to my experience here are not present in this room. But that being said, it's probably good that I don't tell stories that you already all know, and that some of them won't be appropriate for the speech anyway. Overall, the addition of lacrosse helped middle school and 6th grade be great. There aren't very many people in San Diego playing lacrosse, so you instantly get a tight group of friends that all know each other through the sport. And sadly, as you know, I definitely physically peaked during these years. I used to, at the time, run 5Ks and 10Ks in between sports, and I was the 3rd tallest kid on my 8th grade team. I know, this is translated into friendships that will last forever, strengthened through our collective grind in a way that I wouldn't have understood without Princeton lacrosse. Hell, guys in this room will be at my wedding if I ever convince some Basically, I think we all owe a lot to Princeton lacrosse, and it's about time we start paying it back to the program with an Ivy League championship and even more. For tonight, let's come out with confidence that I didn't have, but do have now, and make sure these Harvard guys know 100% they made the wrong choice.
1, 2, 3.
Walking over to 52 is pretty cool. We always go over in 2 lines. It's a little bit of a long walk. We got all the seniors. One senior, Will Rotatori, gets everyone going, screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering at different people. Kind of breaks the ice a little bit. Everyone's a little nervous for big games like that. He does a pretty good job of keeping everyone relaxed. We get over to 52, get in the locker room, put our stuff on.
Hey, let's do this thing together. We've talked all week. Talking's done, right? It's time to attack. Here we go. Let's go. Bring it up. Every GP, right from the start. Go, boys. Hey, we do this with execution to start, right? Keep thinking. Keep thinking. It's a big moment, right? But you got to rely on each other and rely on what we do, right? So execution, and don't forget emotion, baby. When you attack, you don't do it half. Man, you go from jugular and you go back. I'm pre-attack. 1, 2, 3, attack!
Coach is always telling us lacrosse is a game of runs. We're going to have our runs, they're going to have theirs. It's a lot of kind of, taking their punch and then being able to respond and deliver back. Ivy League games always end up being really emotional. It's a lot of back and forth.
Hey, one quick point. On the clear, make sure we get deep, make sure we get to the middle of the field because we're going to get open right here, but we've got to stretch the field all the way down. Take care of the ball. We're doing a phenomenal job on the defensive end of the field. We need to settle down and realize that our best defense is playing great offense on this end of the field. Okay, we ain't gonna get called. Count on it. Count on it. Can't complain, can't do anything about it. Okay, we control what we do. Oh, got it, right? A little bit of motion here, get ourselves some legs under us, and make simple plays. Okay, when we move the ball, we dodge hard, we have outlets. It's opened up all day for us. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. Okay, we need to rest ourselves. We play too much defense on that end of the field because of some calls and because of some offensive turnovers. Okay, we got to stop their transition too. Right? Understand where they created nothing in half field. We've done nothing in half field, really. Okay, it's transition. Okay, going that way. Sit down. We got to be on point in the box. Stop them. Make it a half field game. Got it?
Just like ride him out to his right, or
on that, just switch, just easy switch.
Yeah,
just drop and switch off.
Big fan base. So we had probably like 2,000 people there, so that was pretty exciting. Yeah, a little nervous before the game, but we got out there, scored some goals early, which was good. Got out to an early lead. Kind of let them come back a little bit, which was tough. A little bit of a roller coaster ride of a game. Had some mental errors here and there.
And there at the end got really exciting, a lot more than we had planned for. Those 3 penalties there at the end, which were pretty crazy, and we ended up still being man up, but they had possession of the ball and were able to score a quick one and make it really exciting there at the end. We'd like to execute better towards the end of the game there, but it was nice to make it worth the price of admission.
But overall, a win's a win. You can't complain with that. Beating Harvard is great.
One, two, three. Yeah!